Hi there, it's Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More, Worldwide TV, iTube 247 out of Franklin, Tennessee, WomenOnTV.tv, and iHeartRadio and all the platforms around the world. So I've been looking forward to this show. Not only is my good friend Mike Szymanski on, also from Houston, Texas, the one and only award-winning on Amazon TV, Trixie Gynn. And I love all the stuff that she does because she creates all of our flyers and stuff, but she's just so talented. And we just like each other. I try to talk to this woman all the time on the phone. Sometimes I can't get her because she's busy, because she's working her ass off all the time. But that's a great thing because she makes all of us look good and she's so talented. And then Brianna, who are you and where'd you come from?
I am from Gaithersburg, Maryland. And I am an environmental geoscience and astrophysics and planetary science major at University of Colorado Boulder.
That's what I wanted to hear. So about that, because how did you meet Mike? Talk about how you came cross country and then what you created, which I think is interesting. I like it and I haven't even tried it yet, as Mike described it. But when you and I were talking to Mike, I like this product. I haven't even tried it. And I know anytime I like something and I haven't tried it, I know it's good.
But before we start, I just want to say something that, during this COVID time, people talk about being lonely and not meeting people and not meeting new people. And I have always felt that too. It's like, oh, how do I meet new people? And I got to tell you, Brianna and I met because we were socially distancing. I was selling some plants and literally, she came, we had our face masks on, we were talking about the environment and that kind of thing. And literally we became instant friends. And what I'm saying is that COVID can allow people to be friends. As soon as she left, Brian called me and we were talking about the environment or something. And he said something about, oh yeah, President Biden said something about, the environment. And I said, oh my God, I just talked to someone who you got to get on the show. And that's how we met. But I mean, I just want to say that to me, you can still meet people during COVID, and that's a good thing. And this is one of the friends I've made during that.
And I was happy because
as well as Trixie.
That's awesome.
Brianna, talk about.
So now your turn, you go.
Talk about being host and then going to school in Colorado, because that's an interesting story that you have.
Yeah, of course. So I actually attended West Virginia University for my first 2 years of undergrad, my freshman and sophomore year, intending to do for athletics. I played field hockey and lacrosse, but I intended to be in club field hockey there. And I studied environmental geoscience and astrophysics there with a minor in communication studies. And going forward at West Virginia University, it's a Big 12 D1 school. It's a very great athletic program. It's a great academic program. But something told me to reach for the stars a little bit harder. And if I was interested in astrophysics and environmental geoscience, which goes into geology and geography, to get more of the physical aspect of that. So I went in ahead and I was planning to do internships in Denver, Colorado, I believe summer 2019, as I was searching my fall semester of sophomore year, which was fall 2018. I was just pretty much looking on Indeed. I was looking for internships. I wanted to gain experience because one of my good friends at school that was a senior at the time, she was like, Bree, I could see so much potential in you. Just make sure with your science thing, get experience because you can have a degree, but it doesn't guarantee anything. So I took that to heart. And we both worked at Panera Bread together. That was my part-time job at school and doing science and then working and then, trying to do study hall and do so much homework. It was just a cycle of, how can I grow outside of this? So I took the steps and I was applying to internships in Denver for the following summer. And I actually applied to 2, just to have one as a backup if I, got rejected. And I actually heard back from one of them right away. And they were like, hey, we definitely want to, FaceTime with you and interview with you and, moving forward. And I was like, of course. And that worked out great. And it was actually for Growing Gardens in Boulder, Colorado. It was for an environmental education internship there. And the second one was actually going to be for environmental engineering teaching assistant with the AmeriCorps in Denver. So it was 2 locations, but it was within like 30 minutes of each other. And my main base was staying near CU Boulder just because student benefits and also being in a more safe environment as a student still while interning. So moving forward, I did hear back from both of the internships and I got accepted, but one of them, I was ready to proceed with my spring semester of 2018, or I believe 2019 at West Virginia University. But one of my internships, literally, I would say 2 weeks before enrollment and, signing up for classes, they were like, hey, one of our environmental education interns for the springtime isn't available anymore. Is there any chance maybe you are able to come out to Boulder earlier? And it took me a hot minute to just say, wow, should I just drop everything and go? And why not? So I said, I think I'm able to work this out. So I'm talking to my parents and I was like, hey, I think I have a good environmental education internship opportunity. They're offering school credit. And although it was $600 a month, just as a stipend, which, it was good, but also the credits for school was just even immaculate with the experience I did get there. So I did that. I flew into Boulder for 3 days for environmental education internship, more of a training period, and to scope out Boulder. It was my first time in Colorado. And I think that was about 2 weeks after I got accepted into the internship. Came back home, went straight to West Virginia University, packed up all my things in my apartment, said goodbye to my close friends, said goodbye to my roommates. I went home for the last 2 days of me being on the East Coast and, I was spending time with my family and, we usually have family dinners on Sundays. So they were like, so you're really going to Colorado, this, that? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to try this out. And I fly straight out to Boulder, Colorado. And my internship literally started 2 days later with the environmental education internship. And I did that from late January 2019 to May 2019. And literally, as I was finishing up that environmental education internship for the spring, I was only supposed to be in Boulder for 1 semester. So, and I was going to try to stay the summertime in Denver for the internship I'm about to talk about next, and just go back to school after that, just because that would be the end of my internship journey. But I moved forward to go to my second internship with AmeriCorps, being an environmental engineer teaching aide and teacher for 8th graders in the Denver area. That was pretty much like summer school, but it was more thinking of outside the box and more educating. So it wasn't a punishment to be there. So I wouldn't say summer school, but it was more of summer course learning to educate and to better knowledge for the students that want to learn how to grow more and work on education during the summertime when there might be lack of, sources during that time outside the academic school year. So I did that for 7 weeks. It was my first time really in Denver a lot. I was more in Boulder, which is 45 minutes northwest in front of the Front Range and from Denver. But moving forward, I was in Denver for about 7 weeks, being an environmental engineering teacher for 8th graders. They were the sweetest kids ever. It was a joy to have them every single day. And also I was a dance elective teacher, which was very interesting. So it's like, Miss Bree, how can you do science and dance? I don't know how to dance. I just moved to the groove. So that was just really fun to get outside, the box with that, because with the first internship, I was doing a lot of growing. I was in the greenhouse. I was going out to schools. I was managing a grow dome. I was working with Boulder Valley School District, and I was doing a lot of tutoring sessions and also doing a lot of horticulture therapy teaching outside. So with that being said, I wasn't only teaching within the kids, but I was teaching to all age groups and being interactive with them, and also helping manage a community garden within that internship grounds. So that was really fun and educational. And then moving forward to the one in Denver with the 8th graders, it was super fun because it was more of like an actual like middle school, base internship. So we were having faculty meetings, we were having, prepping periods, we were planning, we had to, come up with assignments and quizzes. And I was talking about so much between climate change and, pollution, smog, how could we reduce to reuse to recycle and also be more sustainable within. And I was very more passionate about what I was teaching because I was the one learning about environmental education or environmental geoscience, going into geology and geography and the effects of it at West Virginia. And I was still doing online school as I was interning out in Colorado for West Virginia University, because I did plan to go back after interning and getting credits. So moving forward from Denver, that was a really awesome 7 weeks. And my time in the summer for Denver was up, and I was like, okay, so I'm preparing to go back home, gonna finish up my fall semester at West Virginia 2019. But I actually got another opportunity working for the Boulder County Farmers Market. And I was a market staff there, and I helped pretty much coordinate the whole entire market. And our market was only organic only. And
is this still in Colorado at that point?
Yep, I was still in Colorado at that point. And the farmers market, I gotta say, helped me stay, because the farmers market was every Saturday. I used to get up from 5 a.m. to, we would be done at 4 p.m. most days, maybe 4:30. And then on Wednesdays, which was more of the midweek market, which was a little bit fun because we had more live music. We had more artisans and vendors there as well, and just more midweek for people that couldn't make it on the weekends. So I just kind of got caught up with just being there, falling in love with the market. And every time I just thought about leaving Colorado, I was like, I don't know, something was just telling me to just stay and, don't rush, going back to school just yet in person. Just see what this opportunity can do for you. So I'm working at the farmers market from pretty much, I picked up that part-time job in Boulder from, I would say, April, and it ended December. So the farmers market was something I was attending to every Wednesday and Saturday, on top of interning at Growing Gardens in Boulder and AmeriCorps in Denver. And the farmers market was just very, very, it touched home for me a lot because I was interacting with a lot of EBT, SNAP, WIC patients, but also getting more into sustainability, gleaning, which means, if any farmers do not, plan to use their produce, we are able to help donate that. And I actually used to partner with the farmers market through my first internship in Boulder. So I just felt like it was kind of like more of like a full circle when I was there. And then moving along with working at the farmers market, I met one lady at the market that asked me a question about our zero waste program, because we were super, super sustainable. We had zero waste stations all over the place, which means we had trash and we had recycling, but also we had compost. And compost is 100% biodegradable waste that we're able to reuse for soil and enrichment soil to have more organic nutrient based plants and vegetables.
This kind of where this starts to input you to what your product is now, in a way? Is that where it kind of started you?
Yeah.
And then
yeah, totally.
Colorado, you end up going to Los Angeles from that? Is that right?
Well, actually, from moving from Boulder and doing the farmers market, I met a lady at the farmers market that worked at the YMCA that thought it was awesome. I managed a grow dome at the school that they do after school programming with. And I totally told her which was called Columbine Elementary. And I was working with a lot of kids, doing a lot of tutoring, but doing a lot of science with them. And that was pretty much my last gig with the farmers market until the end of the year. So from August to all the way to December. And I was like, okay, I need to go back home. I got a full ride scholarship at WVU, have all my internship certified, and I was going to take that. I was going to go back. And January 2020, I'm coming home, and something told me, and I was just always kind of, that moment was kind of rough for me because I was like, well, I felt like I left Colorado, in a good standing, and then I'm coming back to pretty much for school and to play field hockey and to just prove them wrong until graduation. And COVID kind of took the opportunities of, meeting so many awesome professors and office hours, connecting into student organization clubs. And I was also I had student organization club that I was helping out with called Healthy Hippies, which my god sister Mallory runs. And it was more of a yoga meditation base, but also a nutrition and, 100% just green, and just getting more everyone out there. If school's hard, we have this where you're able to vent. Also, it's educational, but also it's peaceful. So I came, back to West Virginia for that because it was such a great program for people that were trying to look for an outlet with school and with everything being hard. And COVID-19 took that all away from us. So I was home in quarantine. It was rough. It was, doing online school, moving back home from being super independent pretty much the last 2 years of my life. And it wasn't bad. I love being home with my family. Nothing was wrong with that. But I was just like, I felt like I just backstepped a little bit, and I was breaking out, and I was just, my skin was just not the healthiest whatsoever. So I took the steps to look up, what organic products could I use for my face to stop, me breaking out, stop the redness, stop the inflammation, stop all the dark marks and all the blackheads. And just, I had so much dark marks too. So I was just like, what's going to get me through this? So I just started throwing things together one night. My mom was like, what are you doing? You're making a mess. I had some turmeric, I had some honey, and I had some lemons. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna throw these together, see what paste I can get, grab some other things from the kitchen that looked great for the face, like garlic or whatever, just ginger, anything. And I just threw it on my face, and I kept on trying it each and every day to see, hey, what's different, because it's making my face feel good. And that's where BriOrganics happened. I was just making a mask, and then my friends were like, you're clearing up. And then I was selling to my friends, and then I was selling to friends of friends. And it was more of like, it was like pretty much me setting up a lemonade table. I was selling through my Instagram first and on Twitter. And then I grew to a point where I was like, I need to make a different Instagram for this skincare that I just randomly made. And I started with the turmeric mask, and my mom and I love aloe vera for our skin. We love it. And also my mom and I, when we do, like, my mom has family in the South, so going to the beach and all, we use that on our skin because we burn pretty bad. And moving forward, that's just pretty much how the BriOrganics turmeric mask came about, and also the aloe vera serum. I was starting to make that, and I remember I was getting orders. I was shipping some out of state. I was actually meeting up with people in different locations in Gaithersburg, Maryland, Bethesda, DC, sometimes in Virginia too. And I just remember I was meeting someone halfway to Pennsylvania, someone from Pennsylvania, from Northern Maryland or Western Maryland. And I was
like, how were they finding out about all of this before you started meeting them? How did that happen?
Just Instagram.
So
yeah, it just all started through. Yeah, so it just all started through social media, Instagram, and just pretty much people sharing and just saying, wow, this actually works on my face. I was trying to find something for so long, which I felt so like shocked. I was like, wow, I didn't think, it could work for me, but everyone's skin is very different. And, I was very vigilant about that. And I was also giving that disclaimer. I was like, hey, everyone's skin is different, but it works for me. And some people are like, and more people are like, it's been working for me. And then it was just more of like a web of that, of connecting in. I remember leaving Maryland 2019 before going out to California, which is the most exciting part of this whole journey. I shipped out about 423 packages altogether within my first months of having BriOrganics
Let
before
me stop
flying
you right
out
there.
west.
What's your website, first of all, on Instagram? Since everybody's starting, what is it?
It's BriOrganicsSkinCare.com.
Okay, so at
Can you
that,
spell that, please?
what she sounds
Yeah.
like to me, she sounds like the nutty black scientist who created something that works for everybody. And all of a sudden they on her Instagram
Yeah, I was making a
and
mess
doing it.
everywhere, making a mess. Yeah, I remember I just had the blender. Some days I like did not sleep. I remember I was like, doing night deliveries, and then I wake up, my mom's about to go to work and she's like, "Are you just getting back from, dropping things off?" I was like, "Yes, but I'm okay." I was like, I had like 3 espresso coffee things. I'm okay. She's like, "I think you need to get some rest," because I just had bags on bags. But then I just wake up, I would take maybe a 2 or 3 hour nap, and I wake up to so much more notifications, and then people wanting to try it out, because I was doing it, to try out, or like at first I had like a really like low price, like $3 for the 4 ounce and like $5 for the 8 ounce, because I just wanted to get it out there. But also at the same time, it was just something I was just, it was just a hobby. I did it so much out of love. And every time I wrote a note with everyone's package just saying made with love, because everything was made with love. I'm making, orange stains and making a whole, like, it looked like a laboratory in my room. My mom's like, you probably need to pay for someone to clean up this carpet. And I was like, yeah, I probably should, just because turmeric is everywhere. And that's something I was also experimenting with, because I was like, all right, turmeric stains, how could I get this better? So I was just always modifying to have it better. And it just always came with the little route. And that's just pretty much how that started on the East Coast. And I left the East Coast pretty much. I have family in Hampton, Virginia. And I remember I was getting a lot of orders just that one weekend before just flying out to Tahoe on Monday, that following Monday. I remember it was that Saturday. I had prepared about, I would say, 38 packages pretty much in my grandma's house. It's a decent sized house. It's a little beach house right by in Hampton Roads. And I am just like, okay, I had my cousins working with me. I had my aunt working with me. I had my mom, my dad was helping me. And it was like boxes on boxes. Like I had my whole trunk, my Suburban trunk that we drove down there for the beach and all, full with boxes on the way to the post office. And the post office was not open on Saturdays down there in Hampton. But this one corner store that does post office posting and shipping out, I just felt so bad for the woman, because I was like, I have a few boxes. And she's like, how many? And I was like, it's about 30 or 40. She's like, just bring them in. And I'm having my cousins, my dad, my mom, and we're just having a full thing of boxes, and I'm just making sure.
Hold on. Trixie, what does it sound like to you? She created something out of just experimenting with something, not knowing what she was doing, and then all of a sudden she starts stuff on Instagram, and then all of a sudden people start coming from different areas around surrounding counties, even states. Sounds like. What does that sound like to you? That's interesting, isn't it?
That sounds very interesting. That's actually some of the things that I want to do, but maybe not in that sense. And, like I like candles. Yeah, I love candles. And it's something that I've wanted to do, like create candles, scented candles and fragrances for like if you have pets and stuff like that. Any products to do with pets, because I love animals, and for just for the home. And but I don't have the space to do it. Like you said, you make a mess.
Myself, that's the whole thing. And my parents were like, I remember my dad would drop me off to the post office when I was at home, and I was like, okay, yeah, I will only take a few minutes. I would be in the post office printing out labels and all, making it back from the car. Like I would be there like 45 minutes to an hour almost. And he's like, you got to figure out a better game plan. And shout out to my dad for that, and the pressure applied, because I was like, you're right. I do not need to be in USPS for like 45 minutes at a time per day, paying, because I was getting like Cash App orders. I was doing PayPal. I was just doing everything like electronically. And it was more like a trust system where I'm just writing down everything by hand. I didn't even write anything in the computer. And I was like doing everything through my phone too. So I was like, this is crazy. I was like buying supplies every day. I was like, this is blowing up. So
that's very inspiring. And that kind of,
How old are you?
I just turned 22.
Oh, wow.
That's
Yes.
a lot
Good.
so far. So Mike,
Yeah,
Yeah.
my birthday
you
was
tell us the
January
LA
26th.
story. Talk about how you felt about
Yeah.
whatever product she had at that point after you met her.
Yeah, I did it. I put it on and she wrote out the instructions and, you know, sent her a little note of love and everything.
It looks good.
My mistake was I left it in too long and my beard turned orange just for a day, but it's because of the turmeric that was in it. And, and that was fine, but you know, it all washed out. And, but look at my face. I mean, I have a nice face. I have the bags under the eyes.
You look great.
Thank you. And you know, my nephew, who's 19, has been trying it, and his acne has helped. It's helped him his acne quite a bit. So we're sharing the bottle that you gave us, but he's doing it now too, and following the instructions, which I didn't do. But he's a ginger, so it doesn't matter if he turns orange.
Yeah, look, I am so happy it's working for your skin. Your skin looks amazing.
Thank you. Yeah.
And yeah, and how I got to LA, how did I get to California? This is a story of a lifetime right now. And this is probably the best part. So yeah, moving forward, how I'm just shipping things from Maryland, Virginia. You know, I fly out to Tahoe to visit my best friend that works at the California State Parks out there, because her mom is working at California State Parks in Sacramento, but she got the job in Tahoe. So I went out to visit her because I was like, I need a break. Everything is kind of crazy. And my first few days in Tahoe, I just fell in love. It was so beautiful. My friends worked for the state parks there, and I was just there for 2 to 3 weeks, or more. Like, I told my parents, I was like, I'm only going to be there like 2-3 weeks. I'll be back. And I had my big orange suitcase with my telescope in it, everything in it, like my tent, everything outdoors, just like, I'm gonna be there for a while. My dad told my mom, he was like, I don't think she's coming back for a minute. Just because I had like 3 bags, I had my backpack, and I was like, I'll see you guys very soon. I just have my telescope, and everything else that's just outdoors. And it kind of convinced my mom, like, okay, yeah, she might be coming back. But I was like, I like being outdoors. I like being in the mountains. If I'm not in Colorado, I'm in California.
This is during COVID too, right?
Yes, during COVID. And it was risky. Not like, you know, when I first came out, I was like, okay, that's why I'm going to stay 2 to 3 weeks, make sure I'm good with COVID. Because the California State Parks, in that housing that I was staying at, it was 8 of us. It was 8 of us that was working at the state parks, all together living in a big cabin at the state parks. And I visit my best friend there for 2 weeks, and then I go down to LA to visit some friends and my family. And I was shipping out stuff from Tahoe too. And where we were staying, we were right by Emerald Bay. So we were on West Shore of Tahoe. And it was about 25 minutes to come down to South Lake to ship everything all the time. And I flew out there. So I got a long-term rental, and I was like, there's no way that, you know, I can't not have a car out here. So I did the long-term rental thing, was shipping out stuff so much, making a mess at Tahoe too, doing my skincare stuff and packages. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go down to LA and visit my family, since I had the little break that I did, you know, shipping out everything that Thursday. So Friday happens, I'm going from Sacramento to Santa Cruz. I go surfing to Santa Cruz, and I make the trip by myself all the way down to Los Angeles to go visit my friends and family. And once I was in Los Angeles, things just blew up even more, just because I am meeting people in passing. You know, they're just like, oh, you know, what's that? You know, every time I was going to like FedEx office or Office Max or Office Depot or anything, because I didn't have a printer, you know, I had to go there to ship out labels and, you know, kind of make it work. And I was buying so much supplies on the go, big bubble wrap, everything just on the go. And I remember I had a pop-up little table in Venice Beach the past summer, and it was just like $5 for a little jar, and I ended up leaving with like over $2,000 that day. It was just crazy. And I only made like maybe 3 boxes amount of BriOrganics, just hoping for the best, you know, because we're in quarantine. And they were like, yeah, you can do this from this time to this time. And I was making sure I was following the rules and regulations with that. And then I was taking a lot of cool pictures, I guess, at the beach, and, you know, having my skincare, and just a lot of people were showing results as I was sending out so much products. And I guess the positive feedback came back to the page, and it just kind of expanded more. And the more I met people, I was just like, yeah, I run an organic skincare business. I just started like a month ago, and I was in LA. I remember I was shipping out from the Beverly Hills post office. And I believe it was like before I was going back up to Tahoe, and I had about 14, 15 packages. And they're like, the first thing they asked me was, do you have labels? And I was like, yes, they are. I was like, everything is on there. They're like, great, because apparently that's a problem there. People would just go and drop off things without a label. I'm like, well, that just kind of defeats.
Well, let me ask you this, because we got about 5 minutes. Why would Trixie like your products? For someone who's an award-winning show on Amazon with custom trims, what would you recommend to her? Why would she try it, and why would she like it?
Well, Trixie, I totally believe that you like BriOrganics because it's 100% homemade, it's organic, and it's made with love. And my story behind it just started from me being in my bedroom to me being in my own apartment here in downtown Los Angeles, where I was also doing so much shipments too when I was in Boulder. But I feel, and with the results, it's 100% worth a try.
Wow, can't wait. I definitely want to try it out and see how that works out for me, because I have dry skin. So yeah, that's I always have to put some moisturizer or something on it to, and I don't wear makeup every day, by the way. Yeah. So
I usually don't either as well. And like with my products here in California, I came out here for an internship, and literally my skincare was so busy where I couldn't even attend that much of the internship. So I dropped my internship on my birthday and been doing BriOrganics full time since. And me getting closer with some of the head shops here, working in the CBD industry too, because I just dropped this new CBD line, and I have in total about 12 products of BriOrganics right now that's online and available.
That's cool. Hey, Brianna, I'm a terrible speller. Can you give me
of course.
How do you spell the website? I'm sorry.
Of course. It is BriOrganicsSkin.com.
See, I would have misspelled it. Right, Brian?
No, you're totally good. It kind of gets confusing because it's like BriOrganics Skin Care, because it's like 2 S in the middle. 2 S's in the middle.
Oh, you see, that's what I was unsure of. I always misspell.
My Instagram is BriOrganics, at BriOrganics.
Okay, I got that. Yeah, Brian always has to correct me because he's like, hey, you forgot this letter or something. I'm always forgetting something.
Oh, I totally understand.
Hey, Mike, real quick, we got 2 minutes. What have you been watching movie-wise?
I'm part of the International Press Academy, and some of their nominations came out. There's a new movie called Minari that is the talk of the festival circuit. It's a Asian movie, and but the big movies that the tentpole movies like Tenet and Wonder Woman, they got skunked. I mean, nobody's caring about those in the awards, it looks like.
I know. And then
Nomadland looks like that's going to be a good one. I haven't seen it yet, but
I haven't seen it yet either. I've been asking Searchlight for it. That's the issues with it. And then Trixie,
I think it's coming out Friday,
right?
Yeah.
Trixie, what were you binging on?
Oh, I watched Bliss on Amazon Prime Video with Selma Hayek and Owen Wilson, and that was really good. It's one of those thinking movies. You have to watch it. I don't want to ruin the ending, but it's like, I know, well, we all know people with mental, I don't know, I'm trying to say it in a nice way, but mental, oh God, I don't know, just have mental issues.
Maybe
and so
challenged?
You mentally challenged, or not even that, because the movie's they're not mentally challenged. It's a whole nother world of thinking, and you don't know what those people might be thinking because you're not in their place. And so it's
like the QAnon people.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good movie without saying so much, because it's like at the end you're like, holy shit, this is what they were. I mean, it's total like, you're like, oh my God, really? This could have been happening. Because
channel, I'm gonna have to watch that. All right,
so I know people who are like that. Actually, that's why I'm like,
I really want to see.
Actually, true.
Right,
it's actually kind of true.
We got 30 seconds. Give your Instagram and your website one last time.
My website is BriOrganicsSkinCare.com, and my Instagram is BriOrganisCS. So BriOrganics.
All right. And with that, hopefully my stuff will come today. I want to thank Mike Szymanski, Trixie Gynn, and Brianna Nolan with her BriOrganics, because I can't wait to try it because of my skin too. So I've got to try.
Thank you so much for your time today. I super appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Same,
Thank you
Brianna.
for your time.
Without a smile, please give them one of yours because the world needs it. And again, I'll be smiling when my stuff comes today. I'm Brian.
Yes.
See you next week.